September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed.
Hello friends, welcome to the next video of machine learning. So today our topic is unsupervised learning. In supervised learning, the main idea is to learn under supervision, where the supervision signal is named as target value or label. In unsupervised learning, we lack this kind of signals. Therefore, we need to find our way without any supervision or guidance. This simply means that we are alone and need to figure out what is what by ourselves. However, we are not actually in the dark. We do this kind of learning every day. In unsupervised learning, even though we do not have any label for data points, we do have the actual data points. This means we can draw references for observations in the input data. Imagine you are in a foreign country and you are visiting a food market. You see a stall selling a fruit that you cannot identify. You don't know the name of the fruit. However, you have your observation to rely on, and you can use this as a reference. In this case, you can easily tell the fruit apart from nearby a vegetable or other food by identifying its various features like its shape, color, or size. This is roughly how unsupervised learning happens. We use the data point as the references to find meaningful structure and patterns in the observation. Unsupervised learning is commonly used for finding meaningful patterns and grouping inherent in the data, extracting, generating features, and exploratory purpose. Let's take some example of unsupervised learning. First example is finding customer segments. Clustering is an unsupervised technique where the goal is to find natural groups or clusters in the feature space and interpret in the data input. There are many different clustering algorithms. One common approach is to divide the data points in a way that each data point falls into a group that is similar to the other data points in the same group based on the predefined similarities or distance metrics in the feature space. Clustering is commonly used for determining customer segments in the marketing data. Being able to determine different segments of customer help marketing teams approach these customer segments in a unique way. Think of features like gender, location, age, education, income, brackets, and so on. Let's take another example of unsupervised learning, that is reducing the complexity of an algorithm. Dimensionality reduction is commonly used unsupervised learning technique where the goal is to reduce the number of random variables under consideration. It has several practical applications. One of the most common use of dimensionality reduction is to reduce the complexity of a problem by projecting feature space to the lower dimensional space so that less correlated variables are considered in a machine learning system. The most common approaches used in dimensionality reductions are PCA, TSNE, and UMAP algorithms. They are especially useful for reducing the complexity of a problem and also visualizing the data instances in a better way. Before going into more detail about feature projection, let's look at another important concept in machine learning: feature selection. Feature selection. Even though feature selection and dimensionality reduction aim toward reducing the number of features in the original set of features, understanding how feature selection works helps us to get better understanding of dimensionality reduction. Assume that we want to predict how capable an applicant is of repaying a loan from the perspective of a bank. Here, we need to help the bank set up a machine learning system so that each loan can be given to the applicant who can repay the loan. We need a lot of information about each application to make prediction. A few important attributes about the applicants are the applicant average monthly income, debit credit history, and so on. Typically, however, banks collect much more information from the applicants when taking their applications. Not all of it is relevant for predicting an applicant's credit risk score. For instance, does an applicant age make any difference while decoding whether the applicant can repay the loan or not? Is the applicant's gender important for determining the credit card risk score? Probably not. It is important to understand that not every feature adds value to the solving a particular problem. Therefore, eliminating these features is an essential part of machine learning. In feature selection, we try to eliminate the subset of the original set of features. In dimensionality reduction, we still discard features but do that in a way that the feature space of projecting onto a smaller feature space, therefore eliminating less important information during this process.